Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming this evening. We're going to start this off the right way. RTA Girls Charter School Championship Team. Let me hear you. Give me some noise. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Anyways, so we're here today because the girls RTA Patriots, right, won the 2013 Charter School Athletic League Championships. The first championship team out of their school. I think that says a lot. Only 5 years young, right? The team has only been in existence for 5 years. They competed against 13 other teams, and they won first place to capture the league championship, which is, I think, is phenomenal. You know, one of the things that I want to mention is you guys remember St. Philip's? How tight that game was? What was the score? 2018. You know, you guys did exceptional, and I think you guys captured what competitive is all about. But more specifically, you know, people recognize some schools as just, individuals who just become scholars. But I'm glad that you guys managed to complement that with good athletics, and the fact that you guys all had to remain in good academic standing and good standing overall is quite an achievement, and I just want to highlight that again. To the parents who are here today giving support to our young students, I want to say, you guys deserve some applause too because we all know it takes a lot of time, a lot of running around, a lot of compromise. But you see the end results. You got great scholars, great athletes, some of them who are going to some amazing places, and I just want to share that with you because there are some 8th graders in this team. And some of those 8th graders, aside from their academic and aside from their athletic achievement, are excellent scholars. And some of them will be attending the St. Paul School in New Hampshire, the Ethel Walker School in Connecticut, Newark Academy in Livingston, Montclair Kimberly in Montclair, Mount St. Dominic Academy in Caldwell, and St. Vincent Academy in Newark. Congratulations to you, 8th graders. At this time, I want to say, what a tremendous job head coach Dawn Geronimo you have done with this team, creating exceptional athletes and individuals of good moral standing. You know what I mean? Because it takes that too. And Coach Zach Montel, great job. You guys deserve another round of applause. So, at this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Geronimo and Mr. Ontel to come and introduce the team to us. So can you please come up here and introduce the team? Before you introduce the team members, I want to give you each a resolution signed by myself and my colleagues in recognition of your great work that you have done with these counselors today. Okay? Do you want to wait later? Do you want to take them now? Okay. All right. So at this time, we're going to have them introduce the whole team, and I want them to come up one at a time and to be acknowledged. Okay? Thank you. Actually, Mr. Parada, principal of RTA Central, would you like to come up and say a couple of words? Hey, listen, you're on the mic. You couldn't say no. I wasn't going to let you get away with it.
Yeah. I've learned. I know the deal. Let me start by saying I'm in the unique position of knowing all of these students for anywhere from 6 to 9 years. Before I became vice principal of Robert Treat Academy at the central location, I was a phys ed teacher before Mr. Ontel came in. And I've always loved that position for many reasons, one of them being the fact that I do have the opportunity to have these students from the time that they're 5 years old till the time that they graduate 8th grade and move on to bigger and better things. So I value the relationship that I've developed with each one of those girls back there. And when Freeholder Bobadilla says it's not just about the academic achievement or athletic achievement, it's about being good citizens and good students and good people. That I can say we do have in the back of this room. So I'm extremely proud of the championship, first and foremost. That's why we're here. But in addition to that, the young ladies that you have become. So I'm proud of you.
It is with complete honor and pleasure that I begin announcing the practice squad from the girls team, who put in every inch of effort and had the opportunity to push these girls to their full potential. We ended up with a record of 9-1, and I'm going to start with Ashley Figueroa. Ashley Medina. Trinity Lance. Aristania Martinez. And now for our full squad girls basketball team, Ciara Cohen. Lamera White. Catherine Ramos. Monica Soto. Alicia Vasquez. Aaliyah Jacquez. Tiana Barkley. Emiliana Geronimo. Amaya Braswell.
Must be the center.
Amaya Romero. And Alana Garcia. Thank you.
I'll just say how very pleased that I am that you all are honoring these girls, because they have worked hard academically and in the gym, and so they deserve this honor, and I'm very blessed to be part of it.
This time we're going to take a couple of pictures, and everyone here will have a copy of those pictures that we have, okay? And again, to the 8th graders, you know, congratulations on this wonderful season, your athletic and, you know, academic achievement, but most importantly, know that it's not over, and you got a long life ahead of you and a lot of more achievements, okay? So thank you guys, and the ones who are staying, keep up the good work, okay? All right.
Good afternoon. It is with great pleasure that I stand before you here today to make this presentation, because this first presentation that I'm making has a lot of history to it, and it has a lot of my life to it. I am a graduate of Eastside High School in 1974. I played football, basketball, and a little baseball for about 2 years and got tired of it. But I remember being at Eastside, the different cultures, the different people, the different coaches. And back in the early 70s, 69 and 70s, it was a little rough. It was a little bit rougher than what it was. Me being a person coming from Thomas Street, and I used to hang out at the Pennington Court. I used to hang out at Hyatt Court. I used to hang out at Roosevelt, which is now Terrell Homes. And we had relationships that went a long way. Eastside at one point is not the same Eastside that you guys from Eastside see today. Eastside used to have steps that was levels. On the top level, you had your seniors and your juniors used to hang out up there. And us sophomores and freshmen could not come near those sections. Then there was another layer where the sophomores and freshmen hung out. And then you had some of us sophomores that thought we were filling our oats. So we made the freshmen stay down on the bottom. There was many days in Independence Park that we would hang out and skip classes at Mr. Peloso, if some of you still remember Mr. Peloso, Mr. Quayle, Greg Noddy used to come in and get us athletes and make us come into the building. So it's a lot of history with Eastside that this is a good moment and a touching moment for me. But first, I'd like to bring up the AD, Louis Henniges, head coach Brian Garvin, who's a great friend of mine, who for 2 years we did a basketball camp here in Essex County where we served 395 kids for a whole week at a fee of $15, along with quite a few other Newark coaches, and Dan Sharp, the assistant coach. Gentlemen, first and foremost, I must say to you, congratulations, because you have been, in the last 8 to 10 years, very, very successful. And don't think that people were not watching Eastside High School, but they were. Every time I turn on the TV and I'm looking at the NBA, I see an Eastside guy. He's getting traded around a little bit, but he's still making it in the NBA. And I think this is about his 8th year, 9th year. And it brings pride to be able to say, hey, he came from the same place I did. Without further ado, though, we're going to get to the main pieces here, who were the guys that put out all the sweat, got angry and frustrated with your coaches, because they were trying to give you things and make you do the things that you should do to make you better, that you didn't understand, that you thought he was just picking on you. The things that he teaches you with life, everyday life, that we must all carry with us to our next levels, because you will see that the things that they were trying to give you were things that you needed for the future, because the future is rough. And especially in sports, because as you know, there's approximately 25 to 30,000 seniors graduating from college each year. There's only 26 NBA teams. And every team has at least 11 guaranteed contracts. So what I say to you is the books. They can take one of your limbs away. They can take one of your arms away. You can break your leg. You can tear up your knee, but you can't tear up your brain. That's one thing that'll go the distance. And you need to take what you get from these sports and translate it into real life, as I did, as Coach Gavin did, as even the Newark Tech coach has done, Joe Jordan. Because these are people that I grew up with, and I've watched the transition that we have all made into the business world, into the political world, into the teaching world. We all have taken these things with us. So now can I get on my script now?
Please.
Thank you. I just had to say those things because it's very important to me. And you guys mean a whole lot to me because you are our future. I'm praying that you guys get what you need to get and come back and give it to some of them below you because it's very important because that's the only way we are going to survive here in the city of Newark, in this county of Essex, is if we all come back to our communities and contribute something that can help. Now I got to get to my script. Tonight, we have the pleasure of honoring Newark Eastside High School boys basketball team for winning the 2013 Group 3 State Championship. In the state tournament, the team first defeated Isling Kennedy High School 64-42, Mendham High School 43-21, Morristown High School 59-30, and then Irvington High School 40-38 to win the North Jersey Section 2 Group 3 Sectional Championship. Before going on to defeat Teaneck High School 39-35 and then Camden High School 60-54 at the Rutgers Athletic Center to capture the Group 3 State Championship, only the second state championship in school history. The Red Raiders finished their season with an outstanding overall record of 25-7. They also won the Newark Public School Christmas Tournament Championship and reached the finals of the Essex County Tournament. They also finished the season ranked by the Star-Ledger as the number 15 team in New Jersey and 13th according to New Jersey Hoops. The team was further recognized by honors bestowed upon 4 of its members. Akbar Hoffman was named to the All-Essex and All-Conference First Team. Ismail Sanogo was named to the All-Essex and All-Conference Second Team. Abdul Lewis was named to the All-Essex Second Team, and William Joyce received Conference Honorable Mention. The Newark Eastside High School basketball team was coached by head coaches Brian Gavin, Anthony Tavares, and assistant coach John Tomlinson. Troy Long, Edwin Mendez, Daniel Sharp, and Huron Hawkins, and also received administrative support from Principal Mr. Mario Santos and Athletic Director Luis Enriquez. Okay. So Red Raiders, on behalf of the entire Essex County Board of Chosen Freeholders, we are truly delighted and proud to offer the enthusiastic congratulations on your championship season and for a job well done. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the coach come up, say a couple of words, and then we'll have you start bringing the players up. Coach, I want to present you with one of the resolutions, and it's well-deserved. You know I keep my eye on you, and I congratulate you. Keep doing the work you do.
Well, he kind of caught me off guard here a little bit, saying something. But this is one group that I really appreciate coaching over the past 2 or 3 years. And I look forward to continue this success, which I probably have about another 12 years to go. So whoever's coming behind you, they'll see me, years to come. You guys, I see you in college and further your careers, maybe overseas or in the NBA or being a doctor, lawyer, wherever it may be, but you will be successful, all right, because we have to change the climate of Newark. Other than that, fantastic job this year, and I wish us all best of luck next year because you guys are coming back, and we got to get you all in college, all right? Without further ado,
Would the other freeholders like to come up and join me on passing out the certificate?
first I'd like to introduce our senior, is Stefan McNair. Next, senior William Joyce. next senior is Rashawn Lynn. Junior Ishmael Sanogo. Junior Raekwon Lynn. Junior Jamar Gilbert. Junior Abdul Lewis. Sophomore Ahmad Harrison. Sophomore Jabril Ahmad. And let's see. And I think that's it from all of my players that are here. The other ones are absent and have some other obligations to attend to. And one other coach that came in late is Euron Hawkins. He is here. I don't know where he is, but he's here. This is our group of East Siders that most of them will be back. We missed the 4 seniors, and we want to continue this success later on down my career, 4 years, and not hand it over to somebody else that can take over the ring. Thank you.
Before we start the pitches, though, my colleague who represents that district, which encompasses East Side and Down Neck, Rolando Babadia, I'm going to have him say a few words because he's going to be working with us to make sure that East Side and the schools in those areas get the things that they need.
To all of you and the coaches, great job. It's an amazing feat, and we know that it takes effort, sweat, dedication, and just all I have to say is don't compromise your schoolwork. Life has great things to offer all of us, and again, congratulations on an amazing season and great on the championship win. Okay, thank you.
First, I want to say to my colleagues here, you have 2 athletes. Freeholder Bobadilla was a competitive championship swimmer. And of course, we know of the basketball exploits of Freeholder Rufus Johnson as a Red Raider, playing some forward and a little 2, and also having played for the legendary Cleo Hill at Essex County College. So these 2 gentlemen know a little something about competition. In my day, I tried to hoop it up a little bit too. So I hope that when you have your scope or your MRI, I don't know which one you're going to have, but I hope that it's not too much damage, and I hope that the rehab process goes well for you. But God bless you all. God bless your coaches. You make Newark and you make Essex County proud. Well, good evening. I tell you, today just underscores just how talented and talent-rich the county of Essex really is. Our young people are incredibly, incredibly talented. First, we had the opportunity to see and hear from a talented group of young people from East Side, and now we have the honor and the privilege of seeing and hearing from an incredibly talented group of young men from Newark Tech boys basketball team, the Terriers. This commendation honors the Newark Tech boys basketball team for winning the 2013 Group 2 State Championship. You're back. This evening, it's a real treat for us to honor the Newark Tech boys basketball team for winning the Group 2 State Championship for 2013. In this year's state tournament, the Terriers first defeated Orange High School 75-52, and then Newark Central High School 76-54, to win the North Jersey Section 2 Group 2 Sectional Championship, its first since 1992. The team then went on to defeat Pascack Hills High School 66-31, and then Medford Tech 56-44 to capture the Group 2 state championship. Only the second state championship in school history, the last time being in 1991. Newark Tech then competed in the Tournament of Champions, where it first won a hard-fought game with Newark Eastside High School, 42-39, before falling to the eventual Tournament of Champions champion in the semifinals. The Terriers finished their season with an outstanding record of 23-9 and ranked by the Star Ledger as the #1 Group 2 team and number 13 team overall in New Jersey. As well as being the #2 team in Essex County by the Max Preps as the number 11 team in New Jersey.
This Newark Tech team's accomplishments were further recognized and honored bestowed upon 3 of its members. Raquan Kelly was named to the first team All Group 2 in All County. DeJuan Morrell was named to the 3rd team All Group 2, and Tyree Sykes was named to the 3rd team All County. The Newark Tech boys basketball team was coached by a head coach who used to think he can play, Joe Jordan. Assistant coaches Richard Woods and George Benton, and JV coach, another one who thought he could play, Robert Coles, and also received administrative support from Superintendent Dr. Michael Pinella, Principal Olga Dennis, Vice Principal Aisha Ingram Robinson, and Athletic Director Daniel Harris. So to the players and coaches of the Newark Tech boys basketball team, we congratulate you on behalf of the entire board for your outstanding season. And for all of you that were listening when I said that about the guys at Eastside, the same thing counts for you. You've got to be able to come back and share what you've learned, the experiences and things of that nature, to the ones behind you, because they need you like you needed them, the coaches that you had. They need you too. So I'm going to call up Joe Jordan, the coach that think he can play, and the rest of the coaching staff, along with the JV coach, Robert Coles, who think he can play.
Well, I'm not going to let Freeholder Johnson go all in on you like that. I happen to know you can play. Come on, Bobby Coles. I happen to know you can play.
So first, we're going to have our coach, Joe Jordan, come up and say a few words, and then anybody else you want to say a few words, you can have them say it, and then we can bring your players up.
I'm going to keep it brief because tip-off is what time? Okay. And I like to set the record straight. First of all, Newark Tech is the only school in New Jersey that the 2 assistant coaches were first-team All-Essex. Rob Cole was first-team All-Essex in '79. Rich Wood, he was first-team All-State also. Rich Woods was first-team All-Essex in 1977. So I'm just putting that on record. They can play. And it's an honor to be here. And it's really an honor because Rufus helped raise me. It's a small community, and Carol, I sat on the board of the YMCA. I was the head of the finance committee at the YMCA in East Orange. This had to be 15, 20 years ago with Carol. And she's from East Orange. Legend, don't get it twisted. She could play. So when Rufus and Carol say that you get your education, you come back into the community, really that's what we want you to do. Because both of these people, I've known them all my life. They're good people, and they actually they help in the community unbelievably. So it's an honor for us to be here. I want to recognize Dr. Pinella, A.D. Harris. This is his last year. So A.D. Harris last year, Coach Rich Woods, Rob Cole, and Coach George Bentham. And Rufus, your band, when we play Eastside, I didn't know you went to Eastside. You know, right now, your ticket is no good when we play at home against Eastside. I'm letting you know that right now, it's sold out, you can't get in. We're putting that on record. But it's also, I'm proud of Eastside and what they accomplished this year. And what happens with us is that the coaches and the players, we have to respect each other. We have to respect each other. You need a competitor, a good, if you're going to be a champion, you need to be tested. So what happens with us is that Eastside, you test us. And when we play you, we test you. And it's just competition. After the game, we shake hands, we depart, and we have nothing but love for you. When you play, we root for you, your SEC, Essex County. Rob Cole was down there at Eastside, he knows you. I know 90% of your team. So we always root for you. And the one thing that we have to do is respect each other. Respect each other, because the game, you come in our house, we gonna ball. We come in your house, we're gonna ball. After the game, shake hands, whoever wins, wins. But we have nothing but respect for you, and we're proud of the job that you've done. And I'll let Dr. Pinella.
I'll make this real short, but I think pretty important, and that is, we talked about how important it is to learn and how important education is, and I'm very proud to stand next to these coaches and particularly stand with Joe Jordan and to say that he, working with his team, makes sure that education comes first. And I don't know the percentage, Coach Jordan, what percentage of these young men were on the honor roll this year?
Yeah. 9 out of 15, so what was that?
9 out of 15 will do it for me.
Little under 75.
But that emphasis on teamwork, that emphasis on building character is something that this coaching staff emphasized, and man, did these athletes respond to it. So I'm very proud to be associated with this basketball team. I'm very proud to be associated with Mr. Harris and Mr. Dennis at the managing that Essex, that North Tech campus. And gentlemen, members of that team, both teams, Eastside and North Tech, we're proud that you're part of Essex County, and very proud that you're also students and people who are learning to make a difference, because you matter. Thank you.
First, I'd like to congratulate Eastside, thank the Essex County Board of Freeholders for having us, Dr. Pinella, the entire coaching staff, which I consider the finest coaching staff in the state of New Jersey. But in particular, for Mr. Jordan. Joe is not just a basketball coach. He's a mentor, and it's been a pleasure watching him mold our young guys into young men. Even tonight, as they sat back there, he's sitting with one of the young men doing his homework. Very few coaches you see work with the kids in academics throughout the year. I give him credit for taking our young men over to NJIT, worrying about their SAT scores, and realizing that basketball is just a phase of their life, which will guide them for the rest of their life as they learn dedication teamwork, hard work, and respect for everybody else. And I'd like to take the time to applaud them, and him especially. I mean, the team is only as strong as the head of the household, and we have an extremely strong head of the household, and I applaud them. Yes, this is my last year at North Tech, but my second year there, I was there for the first state championship, and my last year, I'm here for another state championship. And I'd like to say thank you for doing this booking thing for me as I go on to my next career. Dr. Pinella, it's been wonderful to work with, all the coaches and all the young men, and I will be back at North Tech next year to watch games, and please don't charge me to get in. Thank you.
All right. What I like to do is, we have one kid that I think is special. He's feisty, he's argumentative, but he's bright, he's smart, he's a bright kid. And I keep telling him that you're going to be a lawyer. And I'm going to have him introduce his teammates. So it's a senior, he's an honor roll student, he stays on the honor roll, Nasir White.
Travis went. I ain't got nothing to say. Sadat, Lawrence, Mustafa Lawrence. Jordan. I don't want to say his last name. Zagadou. Tyree Sykes. Raquan Kelly. Kamoko Ture. Al Tariq Hausley. Gerard Page. Stephon McNair. Oh, Johnson. And Justin Eke. That's it. I looked at Steph. That's what I was like.
Do you have one of the players that want to say something in reference to your team?
Justin.
Oh, yeah, excellent.
All I can say is it's been a long time coming, even though I'm pretty young. I remember my freshman year, a lot of people told me when I went to St. Benedict's that I wouldn't, be able to play basketball because of my height. And in the beginning, I believed them, but through playing with my team, or my brothers, I've learned that anything is possible. All I want to say is it's been a great season. I've learned so much about myself and about all of you. And I thank you all for remaining strong and fighting through the struggle as we won Group 2 championships. Thank you.
Hello, how's everyone doing? I'm Stephon McNair from Northeast Side. I'm pretty sure a majority of the people in here know me by face or just by playing summer leagues. Just not speaking on the behalf of me and my team, I would just like to speak on the behalf of all the high schools in Newark. This year has been like a very up and down year in my life, Throughout the year I had gotten a lot of fights with the coaches and I was having a lot of individual battles with not just me, but things at home. And as I progressed, I just understood that they were just trying to help me and make me a better person and become a man. So I would just like to congratulate like all the coaches that help mold their kids and the student athletes and keeping them on the right track, because majority of the student athletes either end up dead or in jail. So I just want to just give a round of applause to the coaches and, you know. Also, I would just like to speak on behalf of Newark Public Schools in general. This year has been a very great year as far as like athletics and academics. You can see that we set the bar because, in my opinion, basketball and any other sports was on the decline. A lot of people here in Newark and they think of negativity, people getting killed, we can't go there, we can't support their kids, they're not right students, they're not right kids they're just not right kids at all. So for us to go out there and to just win state championships and just show other cities and other towns that we can compete on a higher level and just accomplish so many great things is just a success in one motion. So I just believe that like something should be done more. So like more effort should be put in athletics and more effort should be shown to the kids and more support. I believe that we should have like more recreational centers where people can go and play basketball. We should have more organizations that can take these kids in to play basketball and more academic institutions so these kids can succeed, because obviously you've seen this year that we can accomplish on a higher and bigger goal. So that's about it, and I just would like to thank, you know, the councilmen for us coming here and y'all the freeholders, showing support. But I believe that more should be done in the city of Newark. This is very rare. Two high school teams winning the state championship. That's very, very rare. And you rarely hear any team winning the state championship if it's not Newark Shabazz, the Lady Bulldogs. So I think that we over-exceeded the bar, and I think a lot more should be done. And in my opinion, I believe that basketball is deteriorating. So for us to just come out and just show that we can be students and we can be athletes and raise the bar, like North Tech, they have 10 or more honor roll students at their school, and that's just an accomplishment and all. And this year, I just been an honor roll student all year. So just attending Eastside has helped me a lot. So I would like to thank all the coaches that attended, all the athletic directors, all the freehold councilmen, and y'all can just have a blessed day.
Meeting called to order. Will you please stand for salute to the flag? And Freeholder Beasley, will you please lead us in the salute?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for a moment of silence. Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Beasley. Present. Freeholder Bobadilla. Present. Freeholder Clark. Here. Freeholder Gill, absent. Freeholder Johnson.
Present.
Freeholder Luciano.
Here.
Freeholder Owens.
Here.
Freeholder Vice President Sebo. Here. Freeholder President Watson.
Here. I have before me certification from the clerk that this meeting is in compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act. Madam Clerk, are there any topics of discussion?
Madam President, there are none.
And for the record, Freeholder Gill is present, Madam Clerk. Okay, Madam Clerk, then let's go to the public comment session on agenda items. For action only, tonight we will vote on ordinance number 1 and resolution number 16 only. So if there's any member of the public who would like to comment on ordinance 1 or resolution 16, please come to the microphone, state your name and affiliation, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak. Public comments on agenda items. Okay, Madam Clerk, there's no one to speak So let the record reflect that there is no one wishing to speak at this time. If there's any member of the public who would like to speak on any issue or comment on any issue, please come to the microphone and state your name and affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to speak.
Richard Whitten, Weequahic Park Association. I spoke to Ralph prior to the meeting concerning something, but I just want to have it on record as to why we do not have a contract with the county for the year of 2013. Okay. He's going to set up a meeting with the parks director and several freeholders, as well as the Weequahic Park Association. We have some discrepancies at the park there. The fire inspector was in the other day and says that the fire extinguishers are out of date. The Essex exit lights are no good. The alarm system is broken. Also, the bridge in the children's playground is unsafe. The coupling is worn, and any one of our children can be injured. The air conditioner that was stolen 3 years ago still hasn't been replaced. And also the ground where the sprinklers are in the playground are faded, and it needs redoing. That's all I have.
Okay, and thank you for your comments, and I'm sure the issues that you addressed to the board just a few minutes ago, we will respond to you in writing. We always respond with any questions or comments no later than 1 to 2 weeks. And also with the meeting that Ralph scheduled with you, we probably will be able to address some of those issues at that time also. So thanks again for your comments. Do we have anyone else from the public who would like to speak on any issue? Okay, Madam Clerk, we will continue with the agenda. The ordinance on second reading for listing only. Madam Clerk, are there any ordinance or resolutions on second reading?
Madam President, there are no ordinance on second reading.
Okay, let's move then to the introduction of ordinance number 1. Please read it.
Introduction of ordinance number 1, bond ordinance providing for the improvement of the Essex County Vocational School in and by the County of Essex, New Jersey, appropriating $4 million, therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $4 million bonds or notes of the county for financing such appropriation.
Okay, Mr. Shaler, please explain the ordinance.
Yes, Madam President. I'll go over briefly the ordinance, and then I will ask Dr. Piniella and his team to come up and discuss the project with the board in totality. Basically, the vocational school has submitted an application for the school facilities project at its Newark Tech campus to the Department of Education. The project will enhance the learning environment and will continue to place the school in the forefront of education. Good news, the state has approved the plan and a debt service aid program to pay 90% of the project through a reimbursement bond process. At this time, I'd like to call up Dr. Piniella to highlight the project and give you some background on the program.
Michael Piniella, Superintendent, Essex County Vocational Technical Schools. I'm joined tonight, I will just give you a quick overview about the project, and I'm also joined by Comito Associates, the architect on the project, and by Anthony Avaleo, our business administrator, if there are some questions related to the financing of the project. This project will affect the first floor of the Newark Tech facility. It is a combination of a renovation and an addition. As you look at the picture to my left, you will see the front of the building moves out in the glass structure that's most obvious in the front of the building. The lobby will be renovated, as well as there's 4 parts to the project, 4 main parts of the project beyond the lobby. You can see the addition on the front. There will also be a renovation of the main offices where the principal, vice principal, and other leaders of the school will reside. There will also be a renovation of the student support, commonly known as student guidance. These offices will be changed so that they are more welcoming. Particularly the main office will be moved from a place which is kind of buried to the side, and will be a parent or students, when they arrive in the school, will immediately see the principal's office and the main office and make it a much more welcoming environment when parents come to the school. There is also a renovation of the classroom space, which will be ideally set up as an emergency management site. We've been working and planning since September with FEMA and with Homeland Security, which is also housed where our central offices are in the Leroy Smith Public Safety Building, on ways that we can incorporate emergency management into the program going forward. Ideally, that will be in September of 2013, and this space will allow us to make that work well for us. A main feature of the building is what you see in the addition, which is going to be a technology-enhanced active learning center. It is designed for students to get an education in a way that they're unable to do right now. Using technology and the expertise of some very, very strong teachers, students can be in the same classroom, same area, and be learning different content at a different speed. One of the things that holds back education right now is the fact that education is often tied to time. You sit for 180 days. After 180 days, you get a grade and you move on. Students learn to sit for 180 days and give back information. However, our economy and our future demand that students think at a higher level, and that will mean that they take more control of their learning. The Technology Enhanced Active Learning Center, which we have been working on every week, planning since September, will give students that opportunity to use technology as well as teacher support for them to move at their own pace. And in fact, students may complete courses in mathematics as early as January and February, and then take college courses to further enhance their education. We have screened several students who have expressed an interest. Right now, we are starting with about 45 seniors who will participate in this program next year. In that space, they will get their academic classes: math, language arts, social studies, science, and world language. The first year, we will only serve seniors. The following year, that program will expand so that sophomores will be there in the afternoon and seniors will be there in the morning. So what we're doing here, in a conversation that we had in the county executive's office with the Commissioner of Education, he recognized that what we're doing is breaking ground here. And it is one person, meaning the superintendent, meaning me, who stands before you and will say that if you look 5, 6, 7 years from now, this is the way education will be appearing on the university campus and in schools that are moving ahead, where students have more control of their education. This is a very exciting project, and I stand before you and thank you, the freeholders, for your support of this project. And if there are questions about the plan, Comito Associates are represented here, and as well as the business administrator, Anthony Avaleo. If you have questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Very good. Mr. McInerney, before we ask questions, I have the freeholders ask their questions. Do you have any questions at this time, comments?
What I'm doing is just with regard to the information attached to the resolution, I'm just confirming from a letter from the state of New Jersey, excuse me, Department of Education, the commitment to support the 90% reimbursement of this debt. And it says here the district's aid percentage, as defined in Section 3 of the Act, is 48%, and state share will be equal to that percentage, except that in this case, it will not be less than 90% of final eligible cost. I assume that, and I'll address this to the administration, I'm assuming that is the confirmation letter from the state that, or the portion of the letter from the state that basically guarantees that it will not be less than 90% of the final eligible cost per PL 2009 C-185 is what it says here. It's just that, has there been any dialogue as to what is eligible costs? So is everything included that you have here that makes up the $4 million, has that been confirmed to be eligible cost, which would be reimbursed by 90%?
Frank, I'll have Anthony Abaleo address that.
Anthony Abaleo, Business Administrator, Essex County VOTEC. The amount mentioned in that letter is the amount of the actual bid that came back along with contingent costs that are eligible. They, from that letter, they are saying that they will pay 90% of the debt service. What the county will do is they will float out the bonds, and just like they did with the gym at Newark Tech, they'll float out the bonds, pay it, and then they will be reimbursed on a yearly basis from the state for the eligible costs. The eligible costs came back directly from the bid, so everything that is encased in the project is eligible for reimbursement.
Okay. And there are no other costs that the county will incur above and beyond the $4 million that the 90% applies to. Is that correct?
That's correct. That includes the construction, the FF&E, the construction manager, and the architect will all be included in that $3.9 million.
Okay. With regard to the timing of the receipt of the reimbursement versus the demand for payment on the bonds, are those, is there any reason not to believe that the timing of the reimbursement would be consistent with the timing of the payment of the debt service required?
Generally speaking, from what I've seen since I've been at the VOTEC, and the last project being the gym, is that once the bonds are sold, we are to submit the bond ordinance schedule to the state, and that on a yearly basis they will reimburse, and they've done that all along with all the projects from the vocational school.
And this isn't subject to the state's budget in any way? This is a commitment over the 15-year life of the bonds?
This is a commitment.
Thank you, Anthony.
Okay, Freeholder Bobadilla.
Frank, I just want to say thank you because that here's the picture for me, and thank you again for your responses because that helps them all. Now, I just want to say that, you know, aside from the educational benefits that we're going to get by this new project, is I like the fact that, you know, we here are building out and modernizing our infrastructure. And I think, you know, I was never a great fan of that building. So to see it go from all this to this, I welcome that. But more importantly, is the fact that we're giving new resources to our students. And I think for that, I got to commend the administration. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Freeholder Seabold.
Thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Pinella and Anthony Abaleo for doing such a wonderful job with the vocational school system. At one point, I was on the Essex County Vocational School Board, so I'm very familiar with the vocational schools, and you are truly doing a wonderful, wonderful job, so thank you so much. The Board of School Estimate met, and Dr. Pinella and company went over their procedure very carefully with us, as did the architect and so on. And frankly, we were all very, very much impressed. If you look at the facility and what was handed out tonight, you can see how beautiful it is and how terrific it's going to be. There are a couple of things that weren't stated that I'd like to include. Number one, the Newark Tech is going to remain open. It's not going to be shut. Even when we have a new school, the other vocational schools will close, but Newark Tech will never close. So what we are doing here is for the future. I don't think that was mentioned. I think everyone needs to know that this school is going to remain. It's a beautiful school. They're doing a wonderful job. And I think the architect that's going to occur is going to be a major, major plus to the school. There is another factor which I think is also very important. This is the first time the state is giving a school like this 90%. We are the first state in New Jersey to receive 90% for such a school. So I'm sure there are going to be other counties looking for the governor to give them money too, but we are the very first, and I think we should all be proud of the fact that our governor sees fit to give us this money for such a great school. So thank you very much, and I hope that you're all in total agreement.
Freeholders, questions to the architect or questions to Mr. Piniella or the administration at this time? Freeholders? No questions? Okay. Okay, freeholders, then, Mr. Paul Executive, you have any questions?
No, I don't actually. Freeholder Seapold did answer one of the questions that I did have, so I don't have any additional.
Okay, very good. Just one comment that this technology enhancement that we will be voting on this evening reminds me of the President's speech when he said we need to do more in this area of technology to prepare our children for the new, for the years coming, the years we will be having in the future dealing with technology. So this is a first step. I think, again, Essex County will lead the way, and if the board approves this application and approves this resolution, then we can go on record saying that we were the first. So with that, do I have a motion?
I'll move it.
And a second. Moved by Freeholder Vice President Seabold and second by Freeholder Bobadilla. Any additional question, comments, freeholders? If none, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Beasley?
Yes.
Freeholder Bobadilla?
Yes.
Freeholder Clark, absent Freeholder Gill?
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson?
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano?
Yes.
Freeholder Owens?
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Siebel?
Yes.
Freeholder President Watson?
Yes.
So moved.
Okay, ordinance on first reading, Madam Clerk, are there any ordinances on first reading?
Madam President, there are none.
Okay, then let's move to resolution number 1. Mr. Shala?
Yes, Madam President. This is out of the Office of the County Administrator. Contract to administer, investigate, and adjust liability claims with the Inversco Insurance Company from May 1st, 2013 through April 30th, 2016. This is a 3-year contract, a cost not to exceed $312,000. The first year, the fee will be $102,000. In years 2 and 3, the fee will be $105,000. Inservco received the highest score as well as the lowest cost. They serve as our third-party administrator to serve its general liability, auto physical damage, public officials, professional liability, and property claims. The county, as you know, self-insures. There is a $400,000 retention. On average, the county realizes anywhere between 300 and 400 claims per year. I will call up Mr. DelGaudio to the mic if the board has any additional questions. I will also like to highlight that this firm has been providing this service to the County of Essex satisfactorily for the past 5 years.
Okay, very good. Before we call up Mr. DelGaudio, Mr. McInerney, you have any questions?
I don't, not on this
Okay.
contract.
Mr. DelGaudio, you want to come up and just kind of briefly, if you have any additional comments to make in addition to what the county administrator just presented to the board?
Frank DelGaudio, County Risk Manager. The contract for approval for a 3-year contract with Inservco Insurance Services. The county is pretty much self-insured. So what happens is every claim that comes through the Office of County Counsel or directly to my attention is then forwarded to Inservco to investigate and to come to a resolution on the majority of the claims that we receive. What I call some of the smaller type claims that are non-litigated. And they also get involved in notifying our insurance carriers that there's potential on a seriousness on a claim. All of the correspondence is conducted by Inservco, and all of the interaction with the public is done by Inservco. So what we have is a neutral third party who investigates the claims and delivers a very quick and fair response to our constituent base.
Okay. Freeholders and Freeholder Vice President Sebo.
Thank you. I just want to make sure that I have something straight. This is in Servco's first year of a 3-year term, correct? Even though I did hear Ralph Palella say that they did have it for the past 5 years. Is that correct?
That's correct. A new RFP was issued, and this is a new contract.
Okay, but they've had it before for 5 years, and now it's the first year for 3 years.
Correct.
Thank you very much.
Freeholder Bobadilla.
I know that when we use third-party administrators, specifically with our workers' comp, there's an annualized, rate of return that we get as far as savings. What would you say would be the annualized rate that we, save as far as using a third-party administrator?
Well, it's a little different as far as savings go. What Servco's role is to recover damages to county property, whether it's a traffic signal, whether there's damage to one of our buildings, facilities, or automobiles, roadways, things of that nature. So they also, their role is also to provide recovery services, or what we call subrogation services, on behalf of the county. They have direct contact with the insurance companies. In most cases, they're auto accidents where our vehicles are hit and the other individual is responsible. We always go after recoveries there. A report is issued annually, and I can get you that information. It's not necessarily a savings, but it's just the money due back to us for the damages.
Yeah, if you can provide me that information, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Additional questions, comments, Freeholders? Okay, thank you, Mr. Delgado. Madam Clerk, we'll list Resolution 1 and move to 2 and 3, Ralph. Let's take 2, 3 together.
Resolution 2 is a budget insertion from the State of New Jersey Department of Children's and Family for their Child Advocacy Unit, Office of the Prosecutor, $335,508. This grant helps cover the salaries and fringe for 5 prosecutors' office at the Child Abuse Unit, plus the overtime for detectives and supervisors who conduct after-hours forensic video interviews with children victims. This helps to prevent child abuse and prosecution efforts for our prosecutor's office. Resolution number 3 is another insertion of revenue from the state of New Jersey. This is from the Department of Labor, Workforce Development for Hurricane Sandy Disaster National Recovery Grant in the amount of $55,000. As you know, the State of New Jersey had awarded the county funds to provide for municipalities as well as our Public Works and Parks Department staff to address the cleanup. This is additional revenue that comes in the form of support services to help pay for uniforms for those workers, bus cards, rental vans to transport the workers, and these funds are basically reimbursement for those expenses.
Thank you. Freeholders, questions? First, Mr. McNamara, you have any questions?
No
on 2
questions
and
on this,
3?
Madam President.
Freeholders, questions, and Freeholder Vice President Sebo.
Thank you. I understand that it's a grant funding coming from the state, but we're getting less money this year than we did last year. Is there any reason why we're receiving fewer dollars?
In which resolution?
We're talking about the first one, number 2. If I read correctly, it was around $405,000 last year. Now it's down to $335,000. I was wondering whether there was a reason why the prices decreased. The amount.
I'm not certain why the reduction. I know it does. The funds originate from the United States Department of Justice. I can find out exactly if it's an across-the-board cut or if we were just singled out. But in some of these areas, if it's they're usually across-the-board cuts. But I'll confirm that.
All right, thank you.
Madam
Yes.
Freeholder.
It's on number 2.
Thank you,
Madam.
and I'll come back.
Ralph, kind of piggybacking on that question, the positions that are being funded in number 2 through these funds, are they any new positions, or were any positions affected because of the reduction in funding?
Through you, Madam President, these are existing positions.
And with the reduction in the amount of the grant, does the county have to incur any costs on its own to cover some of that shortfall from last year's amount?
Through you, Madam President, this grant totally supports this project. What the prosecutor does to support the project out of her budget, we could request that information, but on the whole, we are not subsidizing this grant.
Thank you.
Freeholder Owens.
Madam President, you mentioned some of the things that you've done, you're doing with this project, that's project number 3, but could you explain what the training is? How are they training?
Through you, Madam President, I think training is in the title. It actually was originated dollars that the federal government passed on to the state to provide for employees, workers, to work in communities that were affected by Hurricane Sandy. There was really limited training. They were there for basically cleanup efforts. This particular grant helped support those workers during their time with us with uniforms, bus cards, transportation to and from those work sites. This is a support grant, but they received a grant, and I believe they earned up to about $12,000 for the period of time that they had worked on the cleanup of Hurricane Sandy. So it was really an employment program more so than a training program.
Well, why do they use the word training?
It's just that it gets funded to our department, and our department that oversees it is called Economic Development and Employment and Training. It just is the name of the department.
I'm satisfied.
Okay, very good. Additional questions, comments, freeholders? And that's on 2 and 3. No additional questions, Madam Clerk. We list 2 and 3, and we'll go to 4. Ralph?
Department of Citizen Services, a division of our youth services. This contract is with the Essex Regional Educational Service Commission. They provide our educational services to the eligible students who are housed at our Essex County Juvenile Detention Facility. This contract is the same dollar amount as last year, $1.9 million. The Regional Educational Services Commission, they pretty much oversee 14 classrooms, 6 offices. They conduct services in the gym, in our pool. Just to give you a highlight of last year, 6 students earned their high school diploma, 23 earned their GED, 17 were promoted to higher grades, and 22 received a half-year promotion. We have Dr. Young with us this evening, as well as the director of the detention center, Mr. Green. At this time, I'd like to call them both up to the mic.
Very good. Director Green, will you speak first, or do you want to speak first? Your name for the record, please.
Madam President, Charles Green, Director of Essex County Juvenile Detention Center. I'd like to say that I've been at detention center 6 years, and those 6 years, I have observed Dr. Young and her staff educate youth at the facility that wouldn't receive education if they was out in society. These youths are very challenged, and it's very difficult to get their attention. But I would like to say that they do a wonderful job. I'm very pleased with them. I've been pleased for the past 6 years, and I hope to have them there for another 6 years. We got a prom coming up very soon. I don't know the exact date, May 30th. Then our graduation is June 23rd, I believe, 25th. I mean, everyone is invited to the ceremony. It's a wonderful ceremony. It's unbelievable. Coming from adult correction, and, seeing what takes place at the detention center, makes me very proud.
Very good. Thank you for your comments. Dr. Green, Young?
Madam President, members of the Board of Freeholders, it's my pleasure to come before you this evening to just tell you how pleased we are to provide the services to the youth that are incarcerated at the Essex County Juvenile Detention Center.
Excuse me, would you just put your name on the record? I know I
I'm
said
sorry,
doctor.
I'm Jacqueline Young.
And your position?
I'm Superintendent of the Essex Regional Ed Services Commission.
Very good.
Sorry
Continue.
about that. But my staff, we're very pleased to provide the education for the residents that are detained at the Essex County Juvenile Detention Center. We are a full-fledged high school. Students have the opportunity to either earn their high school diploma from their resident school district or a GED from the state of New Jersey. In addition, they're provided opportunities to keep up with the work from their resident school district by either moving up a grade level or for the length of time that they're there, getting credit for the educational work that's completed during their time of stay at the detention center. In addition to the educational component, we try to incorporate activities to help them grow and develop as young citizens so that they learn how to become productive citizens in society upon their return. As Director Green stated, one of the upcoming activities is, we call it a prom, our spring ball, where the young men are afforded the opportunity to wear tuxedos. They have etiquette classes. They learn etiquette training in terms of how to treat a date, and hopefully this is something that will flow over into when they get released. In addition to that, we have a graduation that will be coming up in June, where those that are eligible will either earn their high school diploma from their resident district or a GED diploma from the state of New Jersey. As Director Green stated, it's been challenging but yet rewarding to see these young people take advantage of the educational opportunities that are afforded to them. Again, I just want to thank you and let you know that you're really investing in these young people, and many of them do take the educational component very seriously. And I would like to invite members of the Freeholders Board to come and visit the school so that you will have firsthand knowledge of what we're doing with the students there. Thank you very much.
And thank you for your comments and the information that you provided to the freeholders this evening. Freeholders, question, comments on this resolution? Freeholder Bobadilla, and then I'll come back to Freeholder
Thank you, Madam
Luciana.
President. You know, I'm in the social services world, so I know how important this service is, and I know how challenging it is. You know, I was reading through the resolution, and I couldn't quite find what the per pupil cost is. Can you clarify that for me?
Well, we get funding from the state, and it's matched by the county, and it's a $4,500 split, where right now each resident is being funded $9,000, $4,500 from the state and $4,500 from the county.
How many students would you say you expect this year, this contract year, 2013, 2014?
It varies. The count varies from day to day.
Through you, Madam President, as you know, we not only house our Essex County detainees or youth, we also have a contract with Passaic County, so we also have Passaic County youth that we are also educated under this contract. We are also, as part of our arrangement with Passaic County, we also receive revenue from Passaic County to help offset the educational cost as well as the housing cost. But the capacity of the facility is, I'll ask Director Green to go into that.
Madam President, the capacity of the facility is 242. You know, as you know, the count can be 110 today, and a month from now it'll be 180 or 200. But the capacity is 242.
Continue. Are you done? Okay. Freeholder Luciana.
Through you, Madam President. What happens with students that may enter this program and then they leave the detention center?
Upon their departure, many of them return back to their regular school district, or they may go to other schools in the county.
Are they awarded credit for the schooling
For
that
the
they
time
take?
that they were at the detention center, they get credit for work that was completed there.
And
They get report cards and that information, and then they'll get an official transcript, which will be forwarded wherever they go upon their departure from the facility.
thank you.
Thank you.
Additional questions, freeholders? It's my understanding that Essex County, we have the only full-day schooling for our youth in the detention center?
Yes, Madam President, I think we could all be proud of that. We are the only detention center in the state of New Jersey that provides a full day of education for our detainees, 6 hours. And that is a model not only for this state, but for the country.
Just let me say that last year I attended the graduation, and it was really an experience to see, and this was not my first year, but last year, for some reason, I was touched. The parents was there, family members of the young people graduating from the school, the graduates rather, and to learn that some of them went on to Essex County College, and to hear some of the students that attended the school and went back out into society to come back and tell the story of how just going to school while they were in the detention center, how it had an impact on their lives. So I think the dollars that we're spending is well spent. And Dr. Young, I can remember when you first came to us, the freeholders, with the idea, and I'm sure Freeholder Vice President Sipo will remember, when you brought the idea to the county and we bought into it, and I think that was one of the best things that we could have done when we made that decision to support housing while we housing our young students of people, that we educating them at the same time. So let me thank both of you, Director Green, and you, Ms. Young, for your time, Dr. Young, for the time that you put into our young people. I know it's challenging, but it can be rewarding. And to see young people leave out and come back and to tell the story that they told on that last graduation day was exciting. And also, freeholders, we gave each one of the young people that graduated a certificate from the freeholders that I gave to each graduate, and it was well appreciated. So again, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Freeholders, no additional questions or comments? Madam Clerk, we'll list Resolution 4, and we'll go to Resolution 5. Ralph?
The Department of Health and Rehabilitation, this is the division of our Community Health Services. We are requesting the approval of the State of New Jersey's Municipal Alliance Grant Subgrant Agreement Program with 20 municipalities to provide drug and alcohol prevention and education services for 2013. This is all grant funded in the amount of $780,140. All the towns are providing the services. North Caldwell and West Caldwell service one alliance. The services include all ages, including preschool to senior citizens. I would like to point out also, this is the second year, I believe, that the City of Newark has not participated in this Municipal Alliance program. But it's a very successful program with our municipalities.
Yes, hands go up. Freeholder Bobadilla, and I'll come back to you, Vice President. Freeholder Bobadilla.
I did, I went on the record last year, and I'm going to go on the record this year again. And I think it's a disgrace that Newark municipality cannot recognize this great benefit to some of the individuals that are reeling with the complexities of some of the social ailments that we have in our society. And for Newark not to participate is a total disgrace.
It is. I totally agree with you. Freeholder Vice President Sebo.
Thank you. My first question deals with the fact that you said North Caldwell and West Caldwell are together in terms of this project.
That is correct.
On the sheet that shows us the certification of funds, it just lists North Caldwell separately. West Caldwell isn't listed with it, so I just wanted to make sure that West Caldwell is part of it.
They are. It's the way the municipality is contracted.
Okay.
They must be the lead agency
And that
on
gives
it.
us 21 towns, so missing Newark. And I don't know if I missed hearing you say it, but is there a reason why Newark has selected not to be part of this?
I would not want to speak for Newark.
And they're not getting additional funding under the same program separate and apart. This funding come directly to the county for us to disperse.
Through you,
Newark can't
Madam
go after
President.
its own grants.
Yeah, this program is directed at the county, and the county then disperses it to the municipalities. That's how this program operates.
Freeholder Bobadilla.
That's a good point to mention, Ralph. Is the county serves as the administrative piece for the municipalities?
The county is basically the fiduciary. They receive the grant, and they sub-grant these grant awards out to the municipalities. It's the municipality's responsibility to conduct the services and report back to the county.
So the county serves as the lead agency?
In grant funding terminology, yes.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I have another question.
Yes, Freeholder Sebo.
Thank you. Ralph, does the amount of money the town gets, is it determined by the size of the town or the work of the office?
I'm not certain. I will have that answered for you during the week.
Because it varies tremendously, and I'm particularly interested in how it changes.
We will provide that.
What the amount is.
And
What they're doing or the size of the town?
We will provide a response to that.
Thank you.
And my last comment, I have to say this, I have to agree with Freeholder Bobadilla. Living in the city of Newark and understanding the need of the residents in the city of Newark,
Right.
and for us not to have Newark participate in a program like that, providing drug and alcohol prevention and education services, it's just unbelievable. I just can't imagine why Newark will not, did not participate in. I certainly will be asking some of our council people to give me some explanations as to why Newark did not participate in this program. Yes, Freeholder Johnson.
I would like to make a suggestion that we send a letter of some sort to the administration, CC, and the council about this, because I think that we all know what the perils is in the city of Newark. And you heard that young man, those that were here today, who said the athletes that are not playing ball anymore is because of drugs or in jail. We need to get on top of this, and as a board, let's send a letter to the city of Newark, to the mayor, and then to the council members in
Very
reference to this.
Okay, I agree with you. That letter, Madam Clerk, will you have that letter drafted and coming from the freeholders? Freeholder Vice President
Thank you.
Sebo.
And back to what I was saying before about the size of the town, the amount of the work that they're doing. I mean, I live in Livingston, and I know that Livingston has always been, if not the highest, but next to highest in terms of the amount of money they're receiving. And it certainly is a large town in terms of population. But I see that this year the city of Orange is getting the top amount. And I find that rather interesting, although I think the population in Orange is similar to Livingston. So I'm curious to know how much the population determines this according to what the town is doing. And I agree. The fact that Newark is not on this list is rather shameful. considering the problems that exist throughout the county. So I hope we can get some kind of answer on that.
Okay, Ralph,
Yes, ma'am.
could you give an explanation of how the dollars are distributed and to each municipality? Yes, Freeholder Gill.
Thank you, Madam President. I too would just like to go on the record. I agree with my colleagues regarding the city's lack of participation, but I'm happy to see that out of this money, over roughly $150,000 coming back to the communities in the 5th Freeholder District. So excited about that, but would agree with all my colleagues about York's lack of participation.
Very good. Thank you. That letter will go out, freeholders, and you each will receive a copy of the letter that is sent out. Madam Clerk, additional question, comments, freeholders on Resolution 5? If not, we'll list 5. And Ralph, let's take 6.
Department of Health and Rehabilitation. This is our annual contract with Dr. Michael Festa to provide for sanitarium services. This is for 1 year, amount not to exceed $52,500. As you know, Doc Festa serves as the county's health officer, and this is, we did receive 1 response from 31 potential vendors. Last year, the price was $50,000. I think it was $50,000 for, I know for the last 11 years. This is the first increase that I'm aware of, and Dr. Festa is in the audience, and I'm sure he'd love to come up
I'm sure.
and say hello to the board.
Dr. Festa, please come up. And state your name and affiliation for the record, please.
Michael Festa, Health Officer, County of Essex.
Okay, you want to give us a little background again on your services
I have
to the
62
county?
years in public health, 2 military stints, one the 69th, and called back for the 101st Airborne. I have all the certifications necessary. I just received the 7 weeks of studies at UMDMJ at night for another unit, and all my licenses are in order. All the requirements are taken care of. The county health department never closes, by the way. It's open 24/7, can always be reached. We maintain the hazmat teams, as recently the other night at 9:30 at night. We had a problem up in Caldwell. And we're constantly working with any and all organizations. I'm proud to tell you that the County of Essex Health Department is well respected by the local health departments. They look forward to talking with us, and at all times we work very close with them. We're involved with many organizations, UMDMJ, St. Barnabas Hospital, the military. We're in charge of North Jersey for all of the military personnel and things of that nature. As the old lady said before she went to heaven, and she told the doctor she didn't want to die because she wanted to keep on learning, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm taking 3 more courses at this point. I'll be 84 shortly, and all is well.
Very good. Yes.
I would just like to add that in addition to Doc Festa with the role as health officer, he's been very instrumental during disasters throughout the county. When we had to establish a shelter, Doc Festa was with the Red Cross, bringing the appropriate people, resources, and like he says, it never closes. 24/7, Doc Festa is on the job, and he's done an outstanding job for this county.
We had medical people there, and I am the first non-medical person on the board of directors of Essex County Medical Society. We had all the 24/7 I was there, and once in a while I went home and said, "Oh, my wife, 57 years, ma'am."
Very good, and we do appreciate your service to the county. Additional questions, comments, freeholders to Dr. Festa while he's at the mic? I just want to thank you for my angels. I keep them. I have so many of them. I have one in each purse.
Well,
yes, I think they pay off. They're paying off.
Pardon?
I think the angels that you gave me is paying off. They're protected.
Any questions?
Any additional questions, freeholders?
Thank you very kindly, and God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will be voting on your contract next week, Dr. Festa. Okay, Madam Clerk, we'll list 6, and Rep, let's go to 7, 8, and 9, all from the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs.
This is a contract with Wilfred McDonald, the sole responsive and responsible bidder, to provide for Jacobson brand replacement parts for turf equipment, 2-year agreement, amount not to exceed $70,700. We also receive a 10% off the discount off parts for the Jacobson replacement catalog. This vendor has been providing this service to the Parks Department on an as-needed basis. Resolution 8 of this contract is with Stewart Tractor. Again, the sole responsible bidder to provide Toro brand replacement parts for turf equipment, 2-year agreement, amount not to exceed $70,700. With this contract, we receive a 5% discount off the catalog, Toro catalog replacement parts. Resolution 9, Parks Department contract award to Hertridge Fleet Services, the lowest responsible bidder to deliver one new 2013 Ford SEL hybrid wagon in the amount of $27,336. This is split partially between capital and a grant the Parks Department received. This is a vehicle for the Environmental Center. It's also an alternative energy source vehicle, and it will be used for educational outreach and transportation programs that operate out of the Environmental Center.
Okay. Mr. McInerney, any questions on either the resolution 7, 8, and 9?
These are all bid contracts, Madam President, so no, I don't have any questions.
Freeholders, questions, comments on 7, 8, 9? Okay, Madam Clerk, we list 7, 8, and 9, and let's move to Resolution 10. Mr. Shiala.
This is a Department of Public Works contract award to Landmark Fire Protection, the lowest responsible bidder for general, mechanical, and engineering and system services in various county buildings. This is a 2-year agreement not to exceed $308,548. This is a as-needed contract for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and system services.
Okay, Freeholder, Mr. McInerney, first question.
No questions.
Freeholders, question, comments on Resolution 10? Do we have the vendor here?
I believe the representative is here from the company. I'll ask him to come up.
Please, thank you.
Hello, my name is Brian Morgan, for the record, with Landmark Fire Protection. Here to ask any questions you have.
First, could you give us some background on your company?
I'm sorry.
Give us some background on the company.
Yes, we've done a contract for you in the past. We've done electrical improvements, mechanical improvements throughout various buildings throughout the county. That contract is basically over. New contract came out to bid. We were lucky enough to get awarded that contract again. From all my understanding, the people over at 900 Bloomfield Avenue are very happy with our work, and we seem to agree and get it done efficiently, and everyone is happy.
Okay, Freeholders, question? And Ralph, we satisfied with the company?
Yes.
The past service that we
the Public
received?
Works Director, Sanjeev Varghese, has been very pleased with the turnaround time and their work product. Yes.
Very good. No additional questions, Freeholders? Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for the information. Let's list 10, and Mr. Scheller, let's go to 11. Yes.
This is, again, Public Works contract award to Fagon Electric, the lowest responsible bidder for traffic signal and roadway improvements on South Orange Avenue, Glenview Road in South Orange, $307,020.50. This is entirely grant funded. This is to remove existing traffic signal, replace with new traffic lights using the new LED technology. We did receive 5 bids from 5 potential bidders, and as I mentioned, Fagon was the lowest responsible bidder.
Okay. Mr. Michael, any questions?
No
comments?
questions.
Okay. Freeholders? Do we have the contractor here?
Through you, Madam President, I don't believe they were able to make it tonight, but they've been providing this service to the county for a number of years, my understanding.
Okay, so they've been before the board before?
Yes.
Okay. very good.
Madam President?
Yes, Freeholder
can you-
Owens?
I think that was 12, the South Orange Avenue. What are the cross streets?
I believe it's South Orange Avenue, it's Glenview Road in South Orange.
As you're coming down the hill. As you're coming down South Orange Avenue, right after the S-turns.
You done? Did that answer your question?
There are two separate roads, through you, Madam President, South Orange Avenue and Glenview Road in South Orange.
I can't. I live in South Orange, is why I'm asking. I'm trying to think of where's Glenville Road. I don't know every street.
Let me see if Dennis, or
The last street before?
Dennis
Was it clear
could
near
assist
to?
us.
Good evening, Madam President. Through you, South Orange and Glenview Road, at the top of the
Your
hill
name
of
for
the
the record,
reservation.
please? Just-
Dennis Sedeli, Assistant County Engineer.
Okay, very good. Continue.
It's at the top of the hill of the reservation. It's a T intersection.
Oh, okay. Okay, I got
One
you.
of
It's
the-
up above Wyoming Avenue then?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
all right, thank you.
Okay. Additional questions, freeholders? Comments? Oh, so we, and they were the, how many bids did we receive? 5?
I believe there were 5, Madam President, yes.
Okay, that's good. All righty. I don't have any questions. Okay, Madam Clerk, we'll list Resolution 11, and let's go to 12.
Department of Public Works resolution consenting to the Township of West Caldwell, Resolution 9132-1 and 9132-2, and the Borough of Roseland Resolution 132-2013 regarding speed limits and passing zones. The municipalities are requesting the speed limit be lowered from 40 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour along Harrison Avenue between Passaic Avenue and Roseland Avenue. Also eliminating the passing zone along Harrison Avenue between Passaic and Roseland Avenue.
Okay, let's go to 13. Question, comments, freeholders on 12? None. 13, Ralph.
Public Works contract award to Bismarck Construction, the lowest responsible bidder, for the removal and installation of fence. This is a 2-year contract, amount not to exceed $114,600. This is coming out of the capital funds, and it's on an as-needed, open-ended basis.
Okay, Mr. Michael, any question, comment?
No questions, Madam President.
Michael? No.
No, 7 bids on this. This was the lowest.
Okay, very good. Freeholders, question, comments?
Madam President?
Yes, Freeholder Johnson?
Ralph?
Yes.
You said this is a 7-year bid, and is this just the fencing for parks? Is it for buildings? Or?
This contract is let out by Public Works, so it's for roadways, it's for our facilities and buildings throughout the county, fencing for those projects. As you know, Parks has their own contract for parks and recreational facilities that they're responsible for.
How many buildings do we have that require fencing?
Excuse me?
How many buildings do we have that require fencing? I know a lot of them have the parking lots and things of that nature. Is that included in it?
Well, we'll give you a whole listing of all of the facilities that Public Works is responsible for.
Okay. Thank you, Madam President.
Okay, very good. Additional question, comments, freeholders? Okay, none?
Madam President?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Freeholder Luciana?
Can I just quickly step back to number 12 real quick when we're done with this resolution?
Of course. We can go back now. I'll take it now. I think we're done. And additional questions on 13 freeholders? Okay, then we'll go back to 12. We have a question from Freeholder Luciana.
Just through you, Madam President, just want to talk to Ralph and also direct the county engineer, Sanjeev. The road that we're talking about that cuts through Roseland and West Coldwell is no surprise. That's the road I was in my motor vehicle accident. So I just want to put on record that I know that this isn't in light of the fact that a freeholder was in an accident. I know that this has been being studied for the last 3 years, but it is a road that is at times very dangerously traveled by heavy speed. It does have some blind turns, and I just want to commend the administration for taking a look at this and putting this resolution forward.
Okay, very good, thank you. Additional, we'll go now to Resolution 14.
Public Works contract with KS Engineering for construction, engineering, and inspection services. This is in reference to our 2013 roadway improvement program. $266,662, entirely grant funded. We did receive 16 firms who did respond out of 103 firms who received or viewed the RFP, and this was publicly advertised under a fair and open RFP process.
Okay, freeholders, question, comments? Okay, let's go to 15, Ralph.
Again, Public Works, this contract is awarded to Smith-Sondy Asphalt Corporation, the lowest responsible bidder, for our 2013 roadway resurfacing and incidental program, amount not to exceed $3,523,274, entirely grant funded. The roadways that this a contract will cover includes Ridgewood Avenue in Glen Ridge, Sanford Avenue in East Orange, a portion, Orange Road in Montclair, a portion, JFK Parkway in Milburn, approximately 1.5 miles.
Okay. Questions, freeholders? Freeholder, I'm sorry, Mr. McInerney.
Mr. Cielo, this bid came in considerably lower than all the other bids. Do we have any history with this company, or what kind of evaluation was made as to the capability of this company?
Through you, Madam President, Smith-Sondy has been doing this program for a number of years. I'm not certain if they might not have been the vendor last year. They might have been, they might have lost it, and maybe they sharpened their pencil this year to come back. But according to Public Works, they've been pleased with this particular company and the work that they perform.
So they've had history with Essex County, and
most certainly
this is just a low bid.
Absolutely.
To our advance. Thank you very much.
Okay. So, Ralph, you said the history that we have with Smith-Sonny, that they're not here this evening. They've been appeared before the board before.
Yeah, Madam President, they've had this contract for many years, but I think last year they lost it to a lower bidder. So they're back this year as the low bid.
And they're not here this evening? Are they here?
Oh, sorry. There is a representative of Smith-Sondy,
Okay.
yes.
Would you have them to come up, please?
Good evening, madam. My name is Michael Boble, and I'm a supervisor with Smith-Sondy Asphalt Construction.
Okay. We've been advised that your company that you appeared before the board before, but could you give us some background on the company?
Smith-Sondy was formed in 1946 by Mr. Edward Smith and Mr. Joseph Sunday. It is now owned by Mr. Smith's son, Joseph Smith. He is the majority owner and president of the company. As said before, we have done several jobs with Essex County. I personally was supervisor on the job, a 2-year project that ran from Central Avenue through Newark, East Orange, and Orange. I know we did have several of the county contracts prior to that also.
How many employees do you have?
In season, we have approximately 85 employees.
In
season, approximately 85 employees.
85?
Yes, ma'am.
Most of your employees are residents of, let me rephrase my question. Where do most of your employees, are they from Essex County or surrounding counties?
I would say from all
over?
All over the state. We have Essex County, I know Bergen County. The company is located in Bergen County, southern Bergen County, so we have several Bergen County residents, but we do have Essex County, Morris County. I know as far as down as Tom's River.
And your company is based where?
Out of Wallington, New Jersey, southern Bergen County.
Okay. Additional questions, comments, freeholders? Freeholder Gill.
Thank you, Madam President. This question actually might be for the engineer or the assistant county engineer. Is the Ridgewood Avenue piece of this being done in conjunction with the borough's Complete Streets initiative?
Dennis Sedale, Assistant County Engineer. We've let the municipality know that we are going to mill and overlay Ridge Road between the curves, put a new roadway. If they had anything that they would like us to do striping-wise, we have talked to them about that.
Okay, just could we follow up through the administration just to make sure, because they have at least communicated to my office, and I just want to put it on the record that I just want to make sure there's no misunderstanding between the county and the municipality about the striping or also additional Complete Streets initiatives that they think potentially are a part of this project. Okay. So if I could just request that we just again just communicate again with the borough administrator to make sure that I just want to make sure we're on the same page. And then also I just wanted to also put on the record and thank the administration. I know there's some concerns regarding the Orange Road piece of this project from some of the local officials in Montclair, and I think we're going to schedule some time to get out there in advance to take a look firsthand.
Well, through you, Madam President, but I would like to point out that this is only a portion of Orange Road in Montclair that had been deemed needing this resurfacing. Okay. We will make a field visit to inspect the rest of Orange Roadway with the Montclair leadership.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, good. Additional questions, freeholders? And this is 100% grant funded? This project will be funded 100%?
Yes, not only this particular is 100% grant funded, but also the inspection services, the previous resolution, is also 100% grant funded.
That's good. Okay, no further questions, freeholders? Thank you again, sir, for the information presented to the freeholders. Madam Clerk, let's list 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And Madam Clerk, we'll go to 16. Would you read it into the record? The administration is requesting action.
Resolution number 16, Department of Public Works, Division of Engineering, contract award to Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, the lowest responsive and responsible bidder to provide various brand models and size of tires for Essex County fleet vehicles, 1-year agreement, amount not to exceed $100,000.
Okay, Mr. Sheller, will you explain the resolution and tell us why you request an action?
Yes, Madam President. The old contract has expired, and we're in dire need of replacing tires. These are tires that are not only for our fleet, but more importantly for our police department, our sheriff's department, prosecutor's office, our large trucks. These are Unisteel tires. Last year, the contract was for $125. However, we only spent roughly $82,240.12. And this is on an as-needed basis, and these are for Goodyear catalog tires.
Okay, Mr. McInerney, questions on this?
No questions on
bid
it.
resolution?
No
Mike.
question.
Okay, freeholders, question on Resolution 16. No questions? No comments? Motion and second then to approve the resolution.
Move it.
Moved by Freeholder Johnson and second by Freeholder Bobadilla. No further question, comments, freeholders. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Freeholder Beasley.
Yes.
Freeholder Bobadilla.
Yes.
Freeholder Clark, absent Freeholder Gill.
Yes.
Freeholder Johnson.
Yes.
Freeholder Luciano.
Yes.
Freeholder Owens.
Yes.
Freeholder Vice President Seabaugh.
Yes.
Freeholder President Watson.
Yes.
So moved.
Okay. We'll move to Resolution 17, and Freeholder Gill, would you please explain the resolution? This is a resolution that you're recommending to the board this evening.
Sure. Thank you, Madam President. Very quickly, a group of students from Essex County who are attending Montclair State University contacted some of the board members regarding a piece of state legislation seeking a support resolution in support of it. The state legislation has to do with students who are called, you might have heard it, called Dreamers, or in particular the DREAM Act. These are students who attended New Jersey high schools, graduated from New Jersey high schools, but due to their immigration status are ineligible for in-state tuition, to be charged in-state tuition, which is preventing particularly many of our Latino, African, and Caribbean students from attending in-state colleges here in New Jersey. This is very simply a resolution which would support both an Assembly and a Senate bill which would allow for students with certain immigration status to be allowed to be charged in-state tuition or in-state rates at New Jersey's public institutions of higher education, in addition to state financial aid, regardless of their immigration status. Oftentimes, what happens are these are kids who were brought over to the United States at a very young age when their parents came over, but as a result have not been able to, as a result of our immigration system, which I think we all hope will be reformed, have not been able to achieve a legal status which would allow for that. And it's a support resolution in support of the state legislation, and I would hope that and encourage the members of the board to support it. Thank you, Madam President.
Freeholders, questions, comments? No questions, no comments? Okay, Madam Clerk, let's list Resolution 17 for next week. Action from the board, and we will list 18 through 29, all commendations. And I'm sorry, and also a memoriam, we'll list 30, 31, and 32. Okay, Madam Clerk, do we have any added starter resolutions?
Madam President, we have none.
Okay, if there's any member of the public, we'll go to public comment session at this time, Madam Clerk. If there's any member of the public who would like to speak or comment on any issue, please come to the microphone, state your name and affiliation, and you have 3 minutes to speak.
Thank you, Madam President. My name is Jack Fanous. I'm with the GI Go Fund, and I'm here to thank all of you for your commendation of our organization and the work we're doing. Freeholder Gill especially for sponsoring this commendation for all the work that we're doing. We're a veterans organization that's located here in Newark, New Jersey. We're actually based right out of City Hall, but we are a nonprofit, and we've been working to help veterans find jobs, get off the streets, go back to college, with enormous success, and we are doing incredible things here. And it comes from leaders like yourselves and leaders throughout the state of New Jersey who have helped us accomplish our goals and really revolutionize the way veteran services are being distributed throughout this country. We are very proud of what we've done. It's been 5 years as a pilot program, which is now being recognized nationally. And honestly, with leadership from the county, throughout the city of Newark and throughout the state of New Jersey, we've been very, very blessed to have that, and to have the commendation tonight means a lot to us. We are blessed to also, I'll tell you now, we have a program that's running throughout the state that starts in the end of May. It's called the Jeans for Troops program. It's a national dress down day that started here in New Jersey with teachers and employees of the state of New Jersey that dress down the Thursday before Memorial Day to donate $5. Now we have tens of thousands of employees across the country who are participating in this program, helping us spread our word, spread our mission, and spread the way veteran services are distributed throughout the country. So if any of you have any friends who would like to wear jeans to work on May 23rd, you get the word out for them. But again, the commendation that we're having here tonight, especially from you, Freeholder Gill, we really appreciate it, and we're honored to be here. Thank you.
Very good, and thank you. Certainly, we need to make sure we spread the message. Of course, we can't do enough for our veterans, and it's individuals like you and your organization that makes us proud. Thank you again.
Good evening, Madam President, Freeholder Body. Douglas Freeman, Weequay Sports Authority in South Ward 44th District, P.O. Box 4252. I have a comment on Resolution 5 and my dislike as a district leader for the City of Newark for declining the grant for the drug and rehabilitation prevention. Through you, Madam President, I'm requesting in my official district leader position to understand who is responsible for this decline, not once but several times from this grant from the City of Newark. Which department, what time, or not what time, but what day they declined it, and details on why they keep declining this, because this is something that's fueling the shootings and the violence in our community, and we need an answer to why they continue to decline the drug grant funding. On behalf of the Weequay Park Sports Authority, we're increasing the patrons to the park on Elizabeth Avenue side and within the park. But now we have another issue. The speeding of the cars by the playground on Elizabeth Avenue side is hazardous to our kids. And they're speeding at a high level. And with the sheriff riding around, he's doing an excellent job, but it can't be everywhere. We need speed bumps. I don't want to wait till a kid get hit or hurt before we say, oh, okay, let's put the speed bumps there. The speed bumps were there, and we need them to be in place again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Do we have anyone else from the public who would like to speak?
Madam President, to the last speaker, I'd just like to ask
Okay,
a question.
when I call for freeholder comments,
Okay.
then I'll ask if you would like to comment on any of the speakers. That would be a good time for us to do that. Okay. Your name and affiliation.
Name Edward White Doe, citizen. Again, we come to this body to tell them or ask them for their participation in overseeing one of the greatest programs that ever was put in our midst on an international basis is our first tee. Last Saturday, they renewed the Parent Council, which was dormant all last year because the people just walked away or whatever they did. We didn't find out until this year that the administration of that particular body was left to some unknown to by the name of Mrs. Green. All of a sudden she comes to the first tee and said it was dropped in her lap. We know nothing about this. Again, we must refer back to the time that we come to ask the county for oversight. The First Tee is a tremendous organization, and again, through you, Madam President, you have a company called, a First Tee charter in New York City. My question is, why isn't it somebody from the county on the board of directors? Everybody's from New York, from what I know. Nobody there can vote for anybody here. Secondly, please, do not turn the First Tee's golf course, or the 3 tees, into another dump. That's what it was in the beginning. But now, in August, I spoke to one of the administrators and asked him, why is it that the contractor takes up a green in August of last year and is still laying on our course for the kids? It's a hideous sight. And what are we supposed to do? Go back to squalor? Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, and to all of our citizens that appeared before the board this evening. We always respond to you in writing, and as always, we will respond within the next week or two to answer your questions. So again, thank you for your support to this board. Do we have anyone else from the public who would like to speak? If not, then we'll go to other business, and then freeholders' comments at this time. Freeholder Owens, and then I'll come back to Freeholder Bobadilla.
I just want, Madam President, to ask, how long has it been that the speed bumps have been removed in the park? How long? You said they took them up.
Wait.
They were never taken up. They just wore.
Okay, Ralph, normally the questions that come before us in reference to the parks, we always respond, and the freeholders will receive the answers. And then once we receive the answers, if we're not satisfied with the answer the administration is giving, then we will follow up on it. And definitely the question about the speed bumps, we need a clear response, detailed response on that.
Certainly.
Okay, Freeholder Bobadilla.
Thank you, Madam President. You know, there's no doubt that in our country, we are at a crossroads when we're dealing with gun violence, even at the federal level, and, you know, that's all partisan politics. And, well, you know, my interest is not so much what I cannot control on the federal level, but what I can influence and do my part at the local level. And I just want to announce that on May 8th, my colleague and I, Rufus Johnson, will be hosting a community safety forum at the Dr. William H. Horton School, which is at 291 North 7th Street. Okay, that's on Wednesday, May 8th at 5 p.m. And what we're going to be addressing is gun violence, particularly of this neighborhood. We're not even into the summertime, and the repetitiveness, the escalation of gun violence is about to overtake this neighborhood. And I've invited, along with my colleague, we've invited the Newark PD, Sheriff Armando Ventura, and thanks to the administration, the Essex County Prosecutor's Office will be there. And we're going to address the community, but, you know, I realize that politicians alone can't do it. Law enforcement can't do it. And the message that needs to come across that night is that in order to make change in any community, anywhere in the United States, we must have community stakeholders. We can't do it alone, and law enforcement can't do it. Community has to buy in to change the climate in which they live in and provide a safer environment for their families, for their relatives, and specifically their children. Okay? I just want to read something from the flyer that we've been giving out door to door. There's about 5,000 of these that will be going out before Wednesday. In the past 6 weeks alone, there have been 3 shootings around the vicinity of 4th Avenue and Roosevelt Avenue. In a 5-block radius of this vicinity, no less than 3,800 children attend our schools from pre-K to 12th grade. Now, this was printed about 2 weeks ago. Let me give you the stats as of today. As of today, 8 weeks, 5 shootings, okay? So at some point, the shootings are going to eclipse the weeks. And at some point, a child, my child, somebody else's child, is going to wind up dead. And we need to come out, and we need to support, and we need to work with each other in partnership, because this is not going to happen alone. And, you know, I just want to say that I'm very grateful for my colleague who is also, and by the way, everybody in the Freeholder Board agrees with this, and it's something that we all support. And Rufus, you know, thank you for your support and your contributions to this effort.
Yeah, Freeholder Johnson.
First of all, I want to thank Rolando, because I'm no stranger to gun violence. And anytime I see or someone confronts me on the fact that on forums or anything of that nature to help prevent gun violence, I'm going to be one of the first to step up. I've seen people pass in front of me. I mean, literally get gunned down, and it's not a great feeling. And I can imagine a little child, especially within the distance of the school, that this has been happening in. And I am honored to be a part of this meeting and to ask the questions about what plans do we have for this summer. The summer is not even here yet. What kind of action plan are we going to put in place? We know in Newark that a lot of officers were retired. We know a lot of officers were laid off. What kind of strategy do we have for the summer? Because it hasn't gotten to that point yet. And if you look at between January and now, what has been happening all throughout the city of Newark and throughout some of the other cities in the county also, we need to step forward and try to at least give these people some kind of secure feeling of safety. Because as it stands right now, no one believes that they're safe. Not only in Newark, but even in the suburban towns, they don't feel that they're safe. So, Orlando, that area, I would love, I'm more than happy to be a partner with you in this. And I'm hoping that some of our colleagues would join us on that day, because we're representing all of the children and all the kids and even ourselves when it comes down to this gun violence, because none of us are exempt from it. None of us. Thank you, Madam President.
Very good. Any additional comments, freeholders? Freeholder Gill.
Madam President, just 2 quick announcements. Thank you. One, for those of you who might not have seen it, I encourage everyone to take a look at the offerings being held right now in the Montclair Film Festival. There's a big festival being held, film festival being held with screenings of some tremendous films, independent, et cetera, and really just, it's a phenomenal community activity, so I would encourage those in the viewing public and my board members to take a look at that and participate. And also, I did want to also thank Alex and the GI Joe Fund for being here tonight, but, you know, he thanked me, but it really is not me, it's this board that's supporting their efforts. And one particular part, I think, that I just wanted to highlight is their efforts are very much focused with our young men and women who are returning from both Iraq and Afghanistan. And there is a generation of young men and women who are returning. You know, we probably maybe don't realize it as we've carried on in our day-to-day lives, but we have been and continue to be at war, even as we sit, you know, as we sit here right now in this meeting. And so they're a tremendous asset, both to the city and to this county. And I would encourage my colleagues on the board, if you're not familiar with their activities, to speak with them, and anything you can do, I think they would greatly, and I would greatly, and our men and women who are coming home would greatly appreciate. Thank you, Madam President.
Beautiful. Additional comments, freeholders? From the administration, would you like to comment on any comments that was brought before this board this
No
evening?
comment this evening, Madam President.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. we are reporting out from the freeholder questions, the public comments that appeared before the freeholders last week. We did not have any public comments coming from our constituents last week, but we did have freeholder Luciana, who asked the question, who is responsible for making decisions to increase the wattage of street lighting on county roads. That memo was sent to the administration on 4/26, and the response went out on 4/26, so you should have had the response in your office. If it's not in your office, then the staff will make sure you receive it.
Thank you.
Just let me comment just briefly on the awards that we gave out this evening to some of our young men who basketball team from, I think one was from the East Side High School. And it was just one thing that touched me. One of the students, and I said to our clerk and also to the staff, I said, that young man, he's telling us what we need to do. We keep going around in circles and trying to figure out what are we going to do with our kids, but he said it all.
He said it?
He said to us what they really need is a place to go that's safe in the evening to play basketball, a place where people can make them feel like they want it, and just to be nourished, just for someone to say, I respect you, I love you, and we have all the faith in the world that you can be something. That's what he said. That's all that they need. And I think that's what we need to target. And I think I say that to Freeholder, I say that to you all the time. We talk about all the things, the gun violence and all the things, and we have to ask ourselves why. It's a reason for our young people to be out in the street and feel that they need to have territories that they control. It's not, the answer is there. And what we need to do is take some of our time and sit around the table and say, if the answers are there, then how do we find ways to fill the void? Where are we going to find the dollars to open recreations? Can we get some volunteers to be at our schools in the afternoons without having to pay someone that's costly? Who's going to help parents when they can't make good decisions for themselves, not to help make decisions for their children? That's the answer. We don't have to keep looking. And jobs. That's it. So if we could just sit down and find ways to say, let's take this first, let's take this one, let's take each one of those areas and spread it out and find ways to correct it. I do it every day, and in my other life, we try to create jobs, even if it's just a security job. May not pay them the minimum high wages that they need, but you know what happens when you give them an opportunity to have that first job? That first job can help them to move on to another job that will pay more. So we create jobs for them just to have a resume to go somewhere else and find a job. These are the kind of things I think we need to talk about. It's not high-paying jobs that we need to create at first, but let them understand that if they have a job, this job is not where we want you to stay. This job is to give you a leap. This job is to get you to be able to fill out a resume and say, I've had some experience on the job. I went to work every day, and even though I didn't get paid the highest pay, but I did my best and someone recommended me for another job, a higher job. That's the answer. So I think in that session that you have, I think that's what we need to talk about. And I do have some suggestions along with what I just said. So that's my comment for the evening. If we have a motion to adjourn, we